snowstorm warnings and watches are in effect for areas of the western high plains states as a strong system brings a big change in the weather.
Another system exits the east after bringing cooler temperatures and lots of rain. But what's next?
Details coming up next on WeatherScope
For Sunday, October 22nd.
Scope of coverage you won't find anywhere else. This is WeatherScope This Morning, sponsored by 100% Colombian Coffee.
And good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the Weather Channel. I'm Vivian Brown along with Jodi Salin. We've been talking about the big fall snowstorm developing out west.
That's right. The snows have already started now across western Colorado. Just looking at some of the observations, Grand Junction now snowing and 8 inches of snow already in Casper.
Oh, I tell you what, it might be a foot before all said and done, huh?
That's right. You know, the football game is being played this afternoon in Denver, too, so that'll be interesting to see what happens. In fact, that is our lead story this morning. Certainly, the big snowstorm that's developing maybe a little early for some, maybe for others. They just can't wait, especially the skiers. Let's show you. Actually, this is not what we want to show you, Melvin. This is for Vivian to do. So we're going to go right to the Quantel right now. We'll show you Duluth in just a minute, but we're going to be dealing with Denver. That is one of our big stories throughout the next couple of days. Vivian's going to be telling you about what was going on yesterday in Duluth in just a moment. But currently we're going to be dealing with a big change for folks in Denver. Yesterday we had a high, boy, I'll tell you what, 75 degrees yesterday afternoon in Denver. The frontal boundary is going through as we speak, and through Denver, 47 degrees. That will be all we can muster up today in Denver, and that's probably going to occur very early. But right now is where we're going to see the high before the snow starts to roll in, and winter storm watches are in effect. There it is, the areas in white. That's where we're going to see 6 to 12 inches of snow very easily through the Laramie Range down through the northern Rockies. Winter storm warnings are in effect, and as we head through time, we're going to be dealing with a winter storm watch in effect for portions of Kansas, and in fact by tomorrow, actually beginning late tonight into tomorrow, we even have some winter storm warnings that have been issued as well for the Nebraska Panhandle. And the big problem is also going to be the blowing snow. As this area of low pressure cranks up, it's very, very strong, and we're going to be talking about northerly winds that are going to be blowing very strong, and they're going to basically produce blizzard-like conditions. Snowing from Salt Lake City to Casper with 8 inches of snow on the ground, and as I mentioned, the snows are just starting now around Grand Junction, and by this afternoon the snows will be going in and around Denver. So the first big snows of the season, you can start to see the area of low pressure, kind of that classic comma shape starting to form now as the area of low pressure forms, and as it rolls across Colorado and heads out to the plain states, the cold air entrained in, that's when we'll start to see some of the snow rolling out through the high plains as well. We dropped the precipitation on for you, and we've had some slippery roadways across western Montana. Snows occurred in through Yellowstone. They actually closed some of the roads in and around the Yellowstone region in the overnight hours. And we've had reports of, as I mentioned, snow starting in western Colorado. The winter storm warning includes Rocky Mountain National Park, and in through Steamboat Springs you should get easily a foot of snow down through Winter Park, and eventually later on this afternoon in and around Denver. So if you're flying in or out of DIA today, it could be a little bit tricky. As you can see, the snow is already starting. Of course, with the mountains, it's hard to pick up the snow sometimes on the radar, but the snow is marching on toward Cheyenne. So for the Denverites, afternoon snows beginning and picking up in earnest later on this evening. 47 degrees is our high, and that will be occurring very early, as I mentioned. We're going to be dealing with temperatures right now. The highs, look at here, actually it's 37 in Denver, so we've already hit the high. We're already beyond that. The wind chills now are starting to set up. We're talking about wind chills now down at 19 degrees in Salt Lake City, and in fact it's going to be a blustery system with high wind warnings not only for portions of the mountains but even on into the east-facing slopes through New Mexico down to the Guadalupe Mountains. Very high winds, blizzard-like conditions. Northerly winds will be gusting in excess of 50 miles per hour, and that is going to bring the wind chill down to near 20 below zero. All right, now let's take you to Vivian and Duluth.
Okay, well, the big storm system developing out west, but you remember yesterday we were talking about the storm system over the east. Well, it brought beneficial rain. bird's eye view of the white stuff coating the hillsides here. A blast of moderate snow hit Duluth yesterday afternoon, and we, as you can see, had the dusting all over the city. Well, in Boston yesterday, we had the rainy conditions, rain-free conditions expected today, though, in the Boston area, as we anticipate mostly sunny conditions in Beantown today, with temperatures in the mid-60s. So we got some beneficial rains yesterday, and today we anticipate the sun to return. Here's a look at the latest now. We've had the frontal boundary to clear most of New England. You can see Boston, even New York City and Hartford. It is this very same frontal boundary that moved through yesterday that brought those rains that you just saw in the video out of Boston. But now we just have rains across extreme northern Maine near Caribou and Limestone, and still some lighter showers kind of backlashing here in western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania. We've had reports of still a little bit of light snow lingering over the arrowhead of Minnesota near Duluth, right in here. So still adding to the coating over the lawns and some of the cars across the arrowhead of Minnesota. And we had significant amounts in the western peninsula here of the upper peninsula, and even some accumulating snows we had over the last 48 hours in the northern parts of Wisconsin. Just basically, again, wrapping around the main area of low pressure that has already moved north of the border, and again, the surface cold front that has moved through New England, bringing in the drier air here in Pennsylvania and New York, and that's why we anticipate quite a bit of sunshine over the northeast today. We'll extend the sunshine down south, too, over the mid-Mississippi Valley, even Florida. Mostly sunny conditions expected around Orlando and Tampa, as high pressure really sets the standards and just pushes this frontal boundary off to the east. It has already cleared the southern peninsula of Florida, but draping back across the Keys, so we'll keep the showers south of you today in Miami. Partly sunny conditions expected for Miami, with temperatures, again, generally in the low 80s. So we talk about a fair amount of sunshine, actually, from Dallas all the way to our nation's capital. Sunshine, an afternoon high of 85 degrees today in Dallas. Sunny and hot Atlanta with a high of 73, a little warmer than yesterday. We'll extend the sunshine northward to our nation's capital, an afternoon high of 67 and 66 today in Boston with mostly sunny conditions. Again, the rain we got yesterday in Boston bringing us relief from the rainfall deficits that we've been dealing with so far this year. So there you see your forecast, high pressure and drier conditions for the eastern seaboard today. But here's the main storm system that Jodi was talking about, bringing the significant snows in the mountains out west and eventually pushing into the plains. Here's a look at the snowfall tallies. It will be quite hefty in the mountains of north central Colorado today. A quick look at your afternoon highs forecast. We talk about 40s and 30s. Denver today, about a 24-degree temperature change within a 24-hour period. A quick look at your morning lows. I'll tell you what, another nice day for Game 2 of the World Series in Atlanta. A little bit warmer tonight than it was yesterday night.
That's right. In fact, we're going to see a warmer day today, as you mentioned, game time tonight. And, of course, today, a big football day. And let's take a look at some forecasts for the NFL as we start you off. First, see if we're going to have... We're going to probably see these folks sliding around the snow by afternoon as we have a 4 p.m. kickoff.
That's right, so a big surprise for Kansas City. What about Houston and Chicago? Partly cloudy conditions with temperatures in the low 60s about game time.
And down south, hey, Falcons travel to Tampa Bay. Mostly sunny. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s at 1 p.m. this afternoon.
Okay, we have one more forecast for you. Let's take you to New England with Buffalo and New England today. Partly sunny conditions with temperatures in the mid-50s. So pretty good football weather, Jodi, and we talk about a fall snowstorm developing out west.
That's right. In a couple of minutes, we're going to extend the outlook for the rest of the week.
Okay, so don't go away.
There once was a man and a bee.